are in the process of trying to get a women's clinic built on the property. I have been pushing for women to show up at the Veterans Community Commission meetings, the symposium, any type of event that the VA gives. You should try to show up and show out, because we have to move and shake, or we're going to continue to be at the bottom of the barrel. And I'm just tired of being at the bottom of the barrel. And I feel like the VA owes me, so I am fighting all the time.
Awesome. Well, thank you. My name is Marquetta. All right, welcome to the She Served Sheroes podcast. I am super excited today. We have someone that is on the ground with their boots every single day, making it happen for the veteran community. We are so happy that you are able to squeeze us into your schedule. Army veteran Toni Washington, thank you for being with us.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Not much. We're so glad that you're able to come here. We know that you wear many hats and you are doing lots of things, and we want to hear about everything that you have going on and all of the service that you provide for veterans. But I like to ask everyone the same question, if we could start all the way from the beginning. What drew you to the Army? How did you end up signing the dotted line and being in the military?
Well, I grew up in Compton in a single parent home. Got into some trouble, and the military seemed to be the best option. So that's what I did. I ran to the recruiter, signed on the dotted line. I was 17. I forged my grandmama's name. And then nobody even know I was going until the cattle truck came to get me. The money I was making on the street, I bought all my little white panties and white bras and everything, got myself together. And when they pulled up at like 2:30 in the morning to get me, my mama was coming out the room. My grandmother was rolling her wheelchair. Where you going? Where you going? You know, they thought I was going back to the street. I was like, I'm going to the military. I'm going to the Army. And my mama said, oh, Lord, and went back to bed. And my grandmother was like, are you sure that's what you want to do? You know, so that was that. And I was gone.
So 17, didn't tell anybody, just headed out. So what happened when you got there? What was your experience like?
So I was at Fort Jackson on Hamburger Hill. Those that are in the military know about Fort Jackson and Hamburger Hill. I wasn't in the bougie stuff up there in Hollywood, but I got there and I got in trouble twice in basic. And yeah, just coming off the block, you know, it's hard to take direction. But eventually, I've always thought that I had some sort of guardian angel watching over me. At the time when I was in high school, it was my probation officer and the community outreach officer. His name was Norman. And then when I got in basic training, it was Sergeant Prater, which was a female drill sergeant. And then when I got to AIT, it was Sergeant Pruitt, which was a drill in AIT. So, but you know, my time in the military, the first like 6 months was not very good.
You said you got into trouble in basic. Now I know you said, like you said, it's hard to acclimate from the street, your own set of rules, to having people yelling in your face, telling you when to go to sleep, when to wake up. Right.
So one of the things that I had to do prior to getting in the military is that, again, I'm from a food desert. Culturally, I didn't know what a vegetable was other than corn and greens and green beans. So I was underweight. I had to gain 5 pounds to get a 5-pound waiver. I had to be a minimum 105 pounds for my height when I got out of high school. So I was small, I was skinny and long, and I was weak. So I had a really, really hard time passing my PT exams. And so one of my drill sergeants offered to help me because he knew about my background. You know, you have that time where they ask you about yourself or whatever. And he knew I couldn't go back home. So he offered to help me, and I ended up getting raped in basic training. It was like, look, you do this for me, I'll do this for you. So I got raped in basic training, and it was like a weekly thing. I just kept going back because, one, I couldn't tell anybody, and two, I couldn't go home. Culturally, so I'm Black and Puerto Rican. And so those are two very different cultures. They're very tradition based. So, you know, I just couldn't go home. If I'd have went home, there would have been nothing left for me to do but get back on the street or go to jail or die. And so I just did what I needed to do. And I'll never forget when I passed my PT test at the end of basic, he stood over me and he said, "You did it, Wash." So, you know, everybody doesn't have a good time in the military. But I went on the premise that the way we're raised, you know, the police will take care of you. The drill sergeants will take care of you. The people will take care of you. People in power are supposed to take care of you. And that was not the case. So moving forward, I went to AIT. I was a cook in the military, so I really liked that, and I thought I had put everything behind me. I was moving forward. I wasn't in trouble. I got offered a chance to go to OCS school. That's how model I became. And the thing is that the structure and the discipline was exactly what I needed coming from the street. I didn't know it the first few weeks when I was in,
right,
but it was exactly what I needed. I'm an only child, and it was just, it was a family that I had never had, you know, it was a family that I had never had. So that was good. You know, I was making legal money and still had money to send, you know, with 3 hots in a cot, you ain't got to spend nothing on nothing. So I was, you know, spending money, buying little things, and then, but still sending most of my money home to my mother, my grandmother. Went to a party, had too much to drink. It was the first sergeant's birthday party, had too much to drink. Ended up going back to his house. A group of us, get this, a group of us end up going back to his house. And somehow me and my roommate end up being the only two left on the couch asleep. So instead of when everybody else left, they didn't say, "Hey, Wash, let's go," you know. So she was still sleeping. And when I woke up, I was on my belly and I was being sodomized. So I got up and ran, and he was on a dirt road. So I fell on a dirt road, skid up my face, my knees, and it just ended up happening anyway because he was much stronger than I was. It's still a small, you know, small for, you know, 19 years old. So yeah, so that happened, and once again, you can't tell nobody. That's the first sergeant. So let it go. My first duty station was in Wiesbaden, Germany. I am a masculine of center LGBTQ female. And when I first went in, I was a virgin. I didn't really know what I wanted. So that kind of turned me off to men. Then I got involved with this chick in Germany, and that turned out to be a bad situation. We were in her room. She stole her white roommate's credit card, which had a felony amount on it while I was in there. I didn't know. I didn't know till we got to the court martial.
Wow.
So yeah, so we got in the court martial, and you know, they kind of figured I was gay, but they didn't know I was gay. And it wasn't during Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Okay.
But nobody never really caught me doing anything or nothing like that. But we got in the court martial, and she was like, well, you was in the room with me, blah, blah, blah. And so I yelled across the bench, if you get me kicked out, bitch, I will kill you. Mm. And that is what went on my record, communicating a threat. So they didn't get me for being gay. They got me for communicating a threat. I was less than 60 days away from ETS in my first tour. Mm. So when I got out, you know, the man tell you in court, and like I said, I'm from the hood. So when the man tell you something, you take his word as bond. He was like, you ain't gonna never get shit from my military. You'll never get nothing. No home loans, no education, no benefits, nothing. We're gonna send your ass back to the block. Mm. So that's what they did. They sent me back to the block. I never told my mother and my grandmother that I got put out. They died. They left this world thinking that I was waiting on deployment. Wow. Because I couldn't let them down.
Now, were you in Germany when you got discharged?
Yes.
And so where did you go after that?
I went back home to Compton. I didn't have nothing else to go. Yeah, I went back to live with my mama and got a job at an engineering firm. Again, another guardian angel, a lady named Kathy Williams, took me underneath her wing. I started in the mailroom. 6 months later, I was working on the Saudi Aramco project and doing engineering work that I learned on the job. Everything I learned from her. Oh, wow. So yeah, you know, that's pretty much it. I didn't have anything to do with the military for many, many years. Actually from 86 to 2021.
Okay. Now, that's surprising to hear because I can't wait to get into today. That's very surprising to hear. But I want to first just thank you for your transparency and everything that you just shared. We know that military sexual trauma is a crisis.
It is.
In the military.
It is.
It's a crisis. And so I'm always thankful whenever anyone shares just a glimpse of their story, because you don't have to, but so many of us think that we can't tell anybody.
Right.
So that, you know, it's like, again, we're really trying to create a safe space here for women veterans to actually tell their story and know that they're not alone. So I really thank you for that.
And I have no qualms sharing my story because pastor once used to told me at one time that, you know, you want to share because there are people that think that they can't get through it, but you can.
Right.
You can, and you're not alone. And, you know, each one teach one, you know, we got to let them know so they know how to deal with it. And these young girls going in, they got to be prepared for it and know, you know, how to write it up and what to say. So I ain't got no problems with that at all.
Absolutely. And now for myself, and it sounds like you, like when I got out, I was discharged for refusing the anthrax vaccination. I disobeyed a lawful order, and is what they got me for. And I didn't know I was a veteran. You know, they told me, goodbye, we no longer want your services. I was 6 months away from the end of my enlistment, which I was gonna get out anyways. I was trying to get signatures, anything to just say, you know, keep me. I'm not even gonna stay in long enough to get this full series of shot. It takes a year and a half to get this. I don't even have this long left. But I didn't even know that I was a veteran because I was discharged and because I didn't retire. I went in very ignorant. I'm from LA, South Central. And I went in because, you know, I had nothing. I never applied for college. I never took an SAT, an ACT. I was too busy smoking weed on the beach. Honestly.
That's it. And I was probably too busy selling it to you.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
So when I went in, it was like, you know, I was trying to find a life, figure out what I was going to do with myself. So I didn't have a lot of relatives that educated me. I didn't, you know, I had a friend, which I haven't shared this story yet, but I have a friend that was from Chicago. And I mean, if she got a paper cut, she was going to the medical hall. She was like, she just everything. She was like, girl, you got to report this. And I had no clue what she was talking about. At the time, I thought she was like a hypochondriac. Like, I didn't know why she was always running to have everything documented, because we were cooks too. So I mean, I'm being over exaggerating when I'm saying a paper cut, but anything she cut herself, anything she did, she was like, you know, I got to report this. And I just didn't come from that same background or that knowledge. So for me, it wasn't until I was in a very bad relationship that left me homeless that someone told me, you're a veteran. people can help you. You need to figure
Wow.
out how to get help. That I first knew that I was a veteran. So I would love to hear for you that space from you went back home and then the journey to what led you to getting active in the veteran community.
So I worked for an engineering firm in Pasadena for many years, and then I got transferred to Las Vegas. And in Vegas, I think I just end up getting, I've always done a lot of philanthropic work.
Okay.
Out of pocket. I'm gonna have to say it was during, like I said, it was during the pandemic that my daughter and I, at the time she was 16, 15, we were making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I was rolling around over on Four Master, giving out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, actually a full sack lunch, sandwich, fruit, yogurt, granola bars, and socks. So I was doing that and just going back and forth every weekend during the pandemic in that hot ass weather. Every weekend, that's what we would do. I had just, I was going to church, and I had gotten a hookup on some places where I could get donated food. This Hawaiian group donated bread. Just did my own thing, just hustled it up. It's what I do, even though I don't do it the wrong way, I do know how to hustle.
Right.
So we was making sandwiches. And so Senator Spearman is actually a pastor at my church out of Oakland. And she called me one day and she was like, somebody that worked for the state saw you on Facebook feeding people. I was like, yeah. And she was like, you want a job? I was like, hell yeah, I want a job. Because I was working over at Team Ford Lincoln. So I digress a little bit. So I started working for this engineering firm when I first got out. End up getting laid off, coming here, getting laid off.
And what year was that?
That was 96.
Okay.
So that was 10 years later. Okay. So in 96, I got picked up by another engineering firm. Well, I was contracted to the Department of Energy for the Yucca Mountain project here in Las Vegas. Okay. So I worked there for 14 years. When the new administration came in, they stopped funding. So we were all laid off. I was laid off after 14 years. I lost my job and my first wife in the same month. I lost my first wife to colon cancer. And at that time, we had her 2 children and 1 child that we were about to adopt.
I'm so sorry to hear that. So
before she died, we ended up having 4 children. So I ended up losing my job with 4 kids under the age of 15. And after you make good money as an engineer, I couldn't get a job at Taco Bell. If you get something better, you're going to leave. Yes, I'm going to leave this $9 an hour job. Yes, I am.
Right.
So I had just been getting penny ante jobs. And so I had been at Team Ford for, I don't know, maybe a year, 2 years. And Spearman reached out, told me to get in touch with Nevada Department of Veteran Services, Marie Holcomb.
Okay.
I got in touch with her. She said, I need an LGBTQ program manager. I was like, I can do that. I can do that. So that took almost a year to get me in with the state. So I ended up getting in with the state, stayed there for a year. I end up feeling like I end up feeling stifled in the position.
Okay.
Because of politics and things. I just felt like I was checking a box, Black, female, LGBTQ, all of that, right. all in boxes. But I wasn't able to really do the work that was in the job description. So a client, one of my veterans I was helping one day came in, and I was helping him, and he was like, you should work for the feds. You should be a peer support. He said, because I come in here and you just make me feel like I don't have no problems at all. He said, everything that I say to you, you've either done it, know about it. I mean, I really don't have to I don't got to blow no smoke on you. You just there. And I was like, I don't know. So he sent me the director's number from behavioral health here in North Las Vegas at the Veterans Administration Hospital. And I got an interview. They did my interview right on Teams, and I got hired the same day.
Wow. Because that's usually a process as well.
Yeah, I didn't have to go through the whole, rigmarole of the VA process. I guess it's a blessing, and there you have it. But in the gap, I didn't know that I could get benefits at all. So when I started working for NDVS, Marie says, have you applied for your benefits? I was like, nah, the man told me I couldn't get no benefits. She said, that's bullshit. You can get benefits. And when I told her what happened, she said, oh no, you finna get some benefits. So she became my VSO. I signed a power of attorney, and in less than 16 months, I was at 70% PTSD with a TBI because my head was smashed against the concrete when I was being raped. And then 90 days later, I got my 100% P&T with 2 SMCs because of the loss of a creative organ. I couldn't have children after that. So yeah, so I just felt really good about that. What I didn't feel good about was having to relive everything that I had swept under the rug for more than 30 years.
So you had never really dealt with your military experience in that gap?
Not at all. Not at all. And had no intention to, until Marie was like, no, we getting ready to get you covered. And I still go to therapy. I go to therapy, once a week. I'm a peer specialist now for behavioral health in Las Vegas. I'm really all military now. I really am all military. Just recently I shared in a group that until recently I never felt proud of the time that I spent. But now that I'm doing the work that I'm doing, I am very proud to say that I am a U.S. Army veteran. And I love my job. I love what I do. Yeah, and I go home and I feel like I'm living in my purpose now. I used to tell everybody, I didn't get a chance to be great. They put me out before I got a chance to be great because I had intended on staying until they kicked me out. Because once I got my shit together, I was like, oh man, I like this. It was that structure and that camaraderie and that family and that discipline that I had been lacking from the age of 8 to the age of 17. And it worked for me, once I took my head out my butt. And so Marie said, no, you just didn't get a chance to be great in the military. But look at all the great things that you're doing for those that have served. And yeah, I fight just as hard for those that retired as I do for those that were put out like me.
Right.
Be it for not taking a vaccine, be it for don't ask, don't tell, be it for, just one of many things that a veteran could be put out for.
Right.
So yeah, I'm definitely boots on the ground, and I'm all about a veteran. I'm all about a female veteran. I'm all about a veteran, just those, the least of us, the ones that are so underserved, the women, the people of color, the LGBTQ community, and those that are suffering with PTSD that have dishonorable or other than honorable discharges. Yeah. I fight to get them discharges upgraded for them so that you can get everything that you're entitled to.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know they say you'll forget what people do, you forget what people say, but you never forget the way they make you feel. Yeah. And I'm a person that's big on feeling. And you are one of those people, like I say, you never know the impact that you're having on people. I know the day I saw you, the day that I met you, I know exactly when it happened. I can't tell you the event it was, but it was a different event.
It was the one over, it was the governor's, what is it called? The governor's health challenge thing or whatever it was. what do you call, what is that thing called? The governor's race? It's
So
something like that. But
it
yeah,
was,
yeah, you were sitting next to a wall right here with your little table right there.
yep.
And I was sitting up on the panel, and then we had Chris and all about, yeah, I remember.
That was
I do
the
remember.
day. And
Yeah.
I sat there and just heard you share, and you didn't go into as detail, but you're a person that just shoots from the hip.
Oh,
You
yeah.
are who you are. So it's like, this is it. This is what happened. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm doing. Meet me with your boots on. Like,
Right.
I don't
That's
want to hear what you
it.
got to say. Get out
That's
here and
it.
make it happen.
Yeah.
And I was just like, those type of people I gravitate to.
Yeah.
I just love a person that it's like, you know exactly where you stand, you know exactly who they are. And you're a person that just upon meeting creates impact.
I
You're someone
appreciate
that it's
that.
like, I trust myself with her. I know that I can talk about my story. If she can say this, I know I can share, the little
Yeah.
thing that may have went on with
Yeah.
me. So those things just, you're a big light. So I just want to tell you publicly,
Oh, thank
just
you.
watching
Thank you.
this. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, what you see is what you get. I don't have that professional voice on the phone to make you think I'm European, and I don't do all that. Just what you see is what you get, baby. That's it. That's all.
and that's how it should be. For sure. So I know you mentioned that you're a peer support specialist, but that's pretty broad. You do a lot. So what is it that on a day-to-day, if you would, that all of your titles and hats?
Oh my God. So I belong to several military organizations, the National Black Military Women, based out of Texas. I belong to the Women Veterans of Nevada here in Las Vegas. I'm currently just a member right now, but next weekend I will be running for vice president.
Awesome.
I'm a peer support specialist with the VA. I am now a member at large with the Nevada Democratic Black Caucus.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of things.
A lot of things.
So day to day is, right now I work from home 100%. I do video conferences with veterans, only female veterans. I am the women's health coordinator. So I only deal with female veterans. Oh, and I was just appointed last Friday as the backup veterans care coordinator for the VA.
Awesome.
So I take care of the LGBTQ veterans that come in the VA. If they have an issue, they can come to me or to Tressa Henshaw. So I just got that appointment on Friday.
That's awesome. Congratulations for that as well.
Yeah, that's gonna put me, I'm hoping that'll connect me with some national stuff that way I can, yeah.
So who reaches out to you? What is a peer specialist exactly?
So if you go to the clinic, you go to your primary care physician, you say, hey, I'm having some mental health issues, or if you're already in treatment and you need additional support, you can say, hey, you got some groups or something I could go to, or, somebody that I can talk to on a regular basis that's not clinical, that's not a therapist. And that is peer support. A peer support is a veteran, and we got the position because of lived experience. And you have to be on your own recovery journey in order to become a peer specialist. So we have peers that are recovering from addiction. We have peers that suffer with PTSD, MST, the same thing that our veterans are suffering from. And I think the thing that I like best about being a peer is that, again, you don't have to bullshit with us. You can just come and be with us. If you want to talk about your time in Vietnam, your time in the Pacific Asia, your time in the Gulf War, we will sit and listen. We understand when you talk about the PACT Act. We understand when you talk about people getting shot and what you saw. We understand that. A therapist with all of these PhD, EFGs behind their name, we have a tendency to try to bullshit with them, and we want to tell them what we think they should hear. But you can't do another veteran like that. You just can't, because we're going to call you on it. And I talk to my veterans just like I'm talking to you. You know, I don't try to, I'm not bigger or better or more educated than you. I'm suffering with my own issues. I'm working through my own thing. Sometimes I want to drink and I have to call my peer support. The peer support got a peer support.
Right.
So that's what we do. And you just, you know, you go through your therapist, go through your primary care, tell them to put in a consult, and we can get you seen. We have three female peers, and I want to say 4 or 5 male peers. And we have several groups, several. Some are all male, some are all female, some are mixed, some are via VBC, we're going back to person in person. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, with for that gap, not being in the veteran community at all, and now being as active as you are, and you know, being aware that you can yourself get benefits, you're 100%. What resources from the time you got out or through that whole gap till now are you more aware about that people may not know of that you would want to share?
Absolutely. So when I worked for the state, I was actually a veteran service officer. I had to be certified by the state to file claims for veterans. I can absolutely help you and get you to the right people to file a claim. Don't let anybody tell you that they're going to charge you to file a claim. It's no bueno. When the PACT Act came out, all the commercials came on with all of these attorneys and everything. They will take upwards of 20% of your money that you get back. They will tell you that, oh, you're guaranteed 100%. They cannot guarantee 100% claim because they are not a rater. The VA has to rate you. And the state does it for free. Like I said, I work for the state. I know that the women over there and the fellas over there are awesome at what they do. They're seasoned. They will look at your service treatment records with a fine-tooth comb and probably offer additional things that you can file for that you didn't even think of, because we have what we call secondary issues. MST is PTSD is a secondary to MST. I believe it is. I'm not sure, but I know it's related to MST because MST is not a thing. You know, PTSD is a thing. So it's about verbiage. That's why I would never recommend that anybody try to file their paperwork alone. You don't have to go to the NDVS. That you can go to the Veterans Benefits Administration. They will help you. You can go to DAV, the VFW. There are organizations that will help you and will help you for free. But like I said, the staff over there, the most seasoned is Marie. She's been doing it for 16 years. And I think the newest guy that's there has only been there a few months, but everybody else is really, really seasoned. And it's a hard thing to be certified, or I shouldn't, it's not even a certification, it's an accreditation through the state. To get that accreditation, it's not easy. It is not easy, but absolutely I can help whoever needs information. I can guide you to the right place. I can help you any way I can.
And do you have to be enrolled in VA healthcare to start a claim?
Yes, you do. So there's a law that just passed in regards to military sexual trauma. There used to be an income barrier, but if you are a survivor of MST, you are entitled to all of the treatment you need related to the MST, regardless of income. So if you come in and you say, I'm MST, we will get you to the therapist, we'll get you to OBG, we'll get you a primary care. And so everything that is connected to your MST, you can get regardless of income.
Okay. And
they will automatically enroll you for that portion of it. Cindy Clements Miller is the VA women's MST person. And I've sent a lot of people to her because, new laws or new policies it takes a while for them to filter down. So whenever I run into somebody that says, I just came from enrollment, or I just came from the green building, and they say, I can't get this, but I'm MST, I give them Cindy's number and she get them right in. Yeah.
And so also about that, how does someone even get enrolled in healthcare, and who's eligible?
So if you're a honorably discharged veteran, I shouldn't say honorably, I believe it's if you don't, as long as you don't have a bad conduct or dishonorable discharge, you are entitled to VA benefits. You're entitled to enrollment. If there is an income to meet, then you can be, the VA rates you on tiers, tier A, B, and C. So you might have a small copay, but you can still get it. You just go to the enrollment office. It's on the first floor. Take in your DD-214 and they get you enrolled. They'll look at all your financials and everything and tell you what tier you fall under. And they take your picture and give you your card right there. But even the copay is still cheaper than what, a monthly payment of regular in the community insurance is.
Right.
So,
it's just, there's so many of us that don't know, like we're saying, what benefits they're even entitled to.
Yeah, you can get your health, your so you have to be 60% and above in order to get dental and vision. But there's also resources out there like Adopt a Dental, it's vet. I think that's the name of it, I'm not sure. But they fill in the gap between the 60 and 100% while you're waiting. So they give you a cut on the dental work that you need done. And that's right down there on MLK and Cary, I think it is. And so there's also your education benefits, your home loan. There's caregiver that you can apply for. Those spouses that have that are left, that their loved one has expired or passed away, they're entitled to what is it called? DIC and survivors benefits. So that would be the wife. Some of the children get it, but the spouses can apply. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we can get. A lot of stuff.
And that's just within the VA.
That's just within the VA. As far as outside of the VA, oh my God. Okay, so within the VA, LGBTQ. Let me speak on that. LGBTQ, my trans siblings. A lot of them go out to the community to get their medication. You don't need to. The VA provides everything you need at the VA except for your top surgery and your bottom surgery. They don't do that yet because we don't have the doctors specialized to do that. But you can get your T, which are your shots. You can get your breast thingies. You can get your package thingy, the prosthetics for all of that. We have all of that. There are LGBTQ friendly allied doctors. And if you have a problem with those doctors, that's what I do now. You come see me, you find me, you talk to me, you call me, and I will help you with that. Because I had one when I first started. I walked in the VA over on the Northwest, and the lady told me, she said, oh, I don't even know what to do with you. I turned around and walked back out.
As you should.
I turned around and walked back out, went back right to the VA, got me another doctor, spoke on it about her, and I ain't never seen her or talked to her anymore. The VA made sure to get me another doctor because they are really pushing the diversity, equity, and inclusion right now. Right. And I'm really proud to be a part of that, being, the Veterans Care Coordinator and just working with the community.
That is awesome. And also people just being aware that they can advocate for themselves.
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't have to, see the first doctor that you've seen, and you can ask questions about what all can be covered and what your needs are. Yeah.
And there's a patient advocate right there on the first floor as well. If you're not getting what you want, go see the patient advocate. That's what they're there for. Utilize your resources. Utilize your resources. And we were talking about resources in the community. We have vet to vet clinics. We have NAMI that we partner with. We have the Veterans Community and Resource Center that has tons of things going on. If you're just, if you're feeling, isolated, there's stuff to do every day of the week. Mondays, they have free bowling at the Santa Fe. Lanes 1 through 4 from 10 to 12 is free for veterans. Tuesdays over at the Doula Center, they're starting up pickleball.
Okay.
They're teaching you how to play pickleball, and then you can join a pickleball team. I mean, and just over at the Community Resource Center, the Veterans Community Resource Center, Walter's got a whole calendar of stuff, yoga, financial help. They're doing free taxes now. Tax season is up, and you can get your taxes done for free if you're a veteran. Just a ton of stuff. He's got food. They're giving out food now over there on a weekly basis.
That's awesome.
Just a ton of stuff. Just a ton of stuff.
Whatever it is that you're looking for, it's kind of like, figuring out how you can be connected to what your needs are, but not feeling that there's no one out there that can help you, because that's not the truth.
That is not the truth. You can get housing. If you're in good standing, if you're the model veteran and, you did good time and you got your honorable discharge, there are programs that will give you a free house. Brand new, spanking new, build it from the ground up. If you apply and they pick you, you're going to get a free house. Wow. If you're homeless, you can go over to HUD-VASH. There are specialized peer supports over there that will help you to get a voucher to get into temporary housing or long-term housing, however you want to do it. Yeah, we have resources for everything. And if we don't have it within the VA, I can bet you somebody within the VA knows somebody on the outside that can get you taken care of.
Right, absolutely. And again, we are creating this space, one, as a safe space. We do unapologetically focus on women of color veteran, because again, so many of these service organizations, they were not built for us specifically, not for us specifically. And, so while I might be able to prove that I'm a veteran once I get in the space, not I'm just welcomed, but once I can prove I'm a veteran, then I might be, able to get the resources. But we just want a space where you can just hear the game. Listen, right. If you did not know, this is what you need to know. And every time we talk to someone, we find out more and more and more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's like the sister to sister that we do. It's always someone that comes in and adds a little bit more to what we didn't know.
Exactly.
Just little things. What did we talk about a couple of weeks ago? The parking.
Huh? Oh, the parking too.
The parking at the is it the MGM property?
Yeah.
Veterans get free parking. If you go in and get a player's card, you can stack up points to get a free room. Your license plates, your tax exemptions, so just tons of stuff.
Right. Even something as small as like vet ticks is another one that we were talking about. I'll get your tickets for things.
Yes. I've been on there religiously this week trying to get some tickets to the Super Bowl. I can't do it. Every time I get on there, they'd be like, we picked for this week. Oh man. But yeah.
Are they giving tickets away every week?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yeah, you have to be quick on vet ticks.
Man. But it is what it is. Like I said, I've seen Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle. I went to go see Awakening. I keep missing the Jabberwockies. That's another one other than the Super Bowl I'm trying to get in. But yeah, there's just little things, just little bitty things.
Exactly.
But if if you're a single parent or a single mother, with 2 or 3 kids, that shit adds up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Or just if you're a veteran as well, that's in the house alone. There are things for you to do and get out. Absolutely.
And that's what I'm encouraging my women to do. I have 2 groups right now, 2 Pathway to Recovery groups. I'm working on opening up, starting a coffee and conversation at the LGBTQ Center on Saturdays. I'm also going to try to do an LGBTQ Pathways at the center on Saturdays. Sister to Sister is coming back the first week of March. Yeah, I'm trying to be out there and get as many women and LGBTQ veterans as I can informed.
and we appreciate you. Again, we're so thankful that you just took the time to do this. I know that you're very busy. Are there any events coming up or anything specific that you want to shed light on?
Well, we have the legislative symposium coming up. One of the things that I hear all the time from veterans is a bunch of complaining. We don't have this. We can't do this. Why don't we have this? Well, you know what? You need to come out, write it on a piece of paper, and give it to the people that are in legislation that can make those changes for us. Women especially, we are in the process of trying to get a women's clinic built on the property. I have been pushing for women to show up at the Veterans Community Commission meetings, the symposium, any type of event that the VA gives. You should try to show up and show out, because we have to move and shake, or we're going to continue to be at the bottom of the barrel. And I'm just tired of being at the bottom of the barrel. And I feel like the VA owes me, so I am fighting all the time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the fight.
Yes.
You are making an impact in our community. Again, I've only been in here for Vegas, been here in Vegas for a little under 3 years now. And out of anywhere I've lived, this is just the most like hands-on veteran community that I've ever been a part of. And I really am thankful for the work that's happening in Las Vegas. I think that it will be a model for other areas just to continue to do the work as well. And someone like yourself is just really making it happen and spreading the word and getting it done. So
got to be a mover and shaker to hang out with me, girl. I gotta eat your Wheaties and come on, put your boots on, let's roll.
Tie your skates up.
That's it.
I get it. I feel it. I love it. Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time. Again, I'm glad that you were able to sit with us. And if there's anything that we can do to support you, you know, we always are. We thank you for sharing in the She Serves Sheroes community, for just tapping in and, you know, being a part. We appreciate it. We just started this at the end of the quarter, and we're so appreciative for the support that we're receiving.
I'm sending them your way. I'm gonna send them all your way.
We appreciate you.
We all got a story. I'm gonna send them your way.
We all have a story, and
Yes.
we need to share it. You know, our goal is we have a vendor table on March 9th at the conference.
Mhm.
And our goal is to have a space on the side where women can just come over and do a 2-minute story. Just come
That'd
over
be
and
great.
share your story, so we can have everything up on YouTube under
Mm-hmm.
of, you know, just women veteran stories.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
So yeah,
I'll see you that. That's another event, the Women's Veterans Conference. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
another big one. I was able to go last year, and you know, we interviewed Leilani Bell, and what I really appreciated again about this Las Vegas veteran community is that they listened to the feedback from last year and really tried to do some work to make a difference.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I really appreciate.
Yeah, Leilani is awesome. She's awesome. She's an awesome event planner, and she's just got some good things planned. We got tons of vendors. When I talked to her today, I think that they're already up to like 150 people already. So she's about to max out again.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it should be. So we're excited about that. And like I said, She Serves Sheroes, we're here. We're trying to spread our voices loud and wide.
All righty.
Well, we will talk to you soon. We'll see you around, and we're excited for everything that you're doing. And we thank you again, Toni.
All righty. I'll be in touch. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.